My name is Vanya. I am 32 years old, and I worked very hard for many years at my marketing job. I spent long hours, sometimes late into the night, making sure my company grew and succeeded. All that hard work helped me save enough money to buy my very own townhouse in Omaha. I was so proud of it. Every brick, every wall, every corner was mine. I had poured my heart, soul, and money into making it perfect. I imagined my housewarming party as a celebration of my success, a day where I could finally sit back, smile, and show everyone what I had earned. But the moment I stepped inside my new home, my happiness disappeared. My stomach felt tight, almost like I had swallowed a stone. The living room was full of things that didn't belong to me. Big suitcases were stacked in corners. Cardboard boxes were everywhere. I didn't recognize a single item. There were picture frames leaning against the walls, filled with photos I had never seen before. I froze for a moment, looking around in disbelief. My neighbors were whispering to each other. They kept sneaking glances at me, and then quickly looking away. My mom was standing by the staircase, her smile small and tight, her eyes avoiding mine. I felt my heart pounding faster. Something was very wrong. Who did this? I demanded. My voice was sharp, shaking with anger. My mom shrugged her shoulders and said quietly, "This house is for family." My pulse raced. "Family?" I said, my voice louder this time. "I bought this house with my own money. I didn't get help from anyone." Then my eyes fell on the table. A lease agreement from my property management company was lying there. My hands shook as I picked it up. My signature was on it, but it wasn't real. The paper said that my brother and his family were now tenants in my house. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a mistake. Someone had planned this, and my mom was part of it. I stared at her. "Explain. Now," I said, my voice steady but full of fire. She turned away and pretended to greet a guest. I noticed that everyone around us was whispering, some even taking pictures on their phones. I wasn't just angry, I was done being tricked. Something had happened before today, and I was going to find out what. But first I needed a plan. One they would never see coming. Have you ever had someone in your family betray you, even though you worked so hard for something? If so, share your story because I promise, what happened to me next is unbelievable. And hit the subscribe button, and also tell me where are you watching this from, and what time of day is it? 2 days before my housewarming, while I was sitting at my office, my phone buzzed. It was my best friend, Elina. Her voice sounded urgent and worried when I answered. "Vanya, you need to hear this," she said. "Your mom has been telling the neighbors that your new house belongs to the whole family. Like it's not even yours." I gripped my phone tightly. My heart was racing. Family property? I worked for years to save every penny for this house. Every single dollar came from my own effort at my marketing firm. I never shared it with anyone, and I certainly never agreed to anyone else moving in. I thanked Elina and hung up. My mind was spinning, but I acted quickly. I grabbed my laptop from my bag and logged into the property management company's website. I used this site before to rent a spare room, so I was familiar with it. At the top of my inbox, there was an unread email from 2 days ago with the subject, "Lease Update." My heart skipped a beat. I opened the email carefully. It said that my brother had been added as a tenant, effective immediately, with a note saying, "Family Priority Request." My mom's email was copied in the thread. My hands shook. I scrolled down and found another email, from my brother's wife. She had written a list of things she wanted: curtains, a queen-sized bed, a vanity mirror for her room. In my house. My blood ran cold again, but not because I was surprised. The clarity hit me. This wasn't a mistake. It was deliberate. I pieced it together in my mind. My mom must have contacted the management company, pretending she had authority to make this change. But the lease didn't have my signature, which meant it wasn't legal. The audacity of it burned in my chest. I remembered last month when my mom had cornered me at a family dinner. She had asked me to help my brother with his debts. I refused. I said my money was mine, earned from years of hard work. But apparently she didn't listen. Neither did he. They assumed I would just roll over. I grabbed my phone again and called Elina. "You were right," I said, my voice steady even though my chest was on fire with anger. "They're trying to take my house." She gasped and started asking questions, but I cut her off. "I'm handling it," I said firmly. Elina had given me a warning, and that gave me a small window of time to act. I wasn't going to waste it. I scrolled through my contacts and found my longtime lawyer, Lawrence. I hit the call button. He answered immediately, his calm voice a sharp contrast to my racing pulse. "Lawrence, it's Vanya. I need you to look at something urgent, I said. I forwarded him all the emails, explaining the fake lease and my mom's involvement. He listened carefully, interrupting only to ask questions to clarify details. This isn't legal, he said finally. You are the sole owner. But we need to confirm exactly what the management company did and your mother's role. If this is real, they could be in trouble. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Prepare whatever paperwork is needed to stop this. I want my house protected. No one gets to claim it but me. Lawrence promised to draft the documents by morning. I closed my laptop, feeling a mix of relief and anger. The emails were still open on my screen. The furniture list from my brother's wife felt like a taunt, like she was already trying to move in. I thought about confronting my mom, but I knew I had to wait. Right now, I needed answers and a plan. Elina's call had given me time, and Lawrence's help would give me power. Whatever they were scheming, they had underestimated me. That evening, I video called Lawrence from my living room. His office appeared on the screen behind him, with bookshelves and papers neatly stacked. I didn't waste a second. I sent you the emails. What's the deal with that lease? I asked. My voice was steady, but my chest felt tight with tension. Lawrence adjusted his glasses and scrolled through the documents I had sent him. The lease amendment adding your brother as a tenant is fake. It lacks your signature, Vanya. Legally, it is worthless. The management company should not have even processed it. I exhaled slowly, relief mixing with a sharp edge of anger. Worthless or not, it was bold and calculated. Lawrence continued, explaining that the management company could be in trouble, but we needed more evidence to prove my mom's role. Check your phone for any texts, voicemails, emails, anything from her or your brother, he advised. I nodded. My fingers were already scrolling through my phone. One more thing, Lawrence said, lowering his voice. If this gets worse, selling the house might be the cleanest way out. It cuts all ties with your family. The idea hit me like ice water. My townhouse wasn't just property. It was my proof of independence, proof of years of hard work. I wasn't ready to let it go. Not yet, I told him. But I want every legal option ready. Draw up whatever protects my ownership. No loopholes. Lawrence agreed and reminded me, stay sharp. Your family is not done yet. After the call, my phone buzzed with a new text. My mom's name flashed on the screen. Her words were sweet, but I knew better. Sweetie, come home early tomorrow. We need you for party prep. I stared at the message. Party prep? Her fake sweetness made my skin crawl. She wasn't planning a celebration. She was setting a stage. I swiped the text away without replying. Silence was my weapon for now. Let her think I was clueless. I opened the security app on my phone. The cameras were linked to my house. They weren't fancy, but they were enough. I tapped the live feed, expecting to see an empty living room. Instead, I saw a shadow moving past the window. My pulse quickened. Someone was there, or had been. I switched to the hallway camera, but the feed was dark, maybe tampered with. My fingers tightened around my phone. This wasn't just about a fake lease anymore. They were already making moves. I forced myself to breathe. Lawrence's advice echoed in my mind. Gather evidence. Stay sharp. I opened my email again. A voicemail notification popped up. It was from the property management company, left that afternoon. I hit play. Miss Vanya, we're reviewing the lease issue. Your mother called and said you approved the change. Please confirm, said the nervous voice. My jaw clenched. Proof she lied. I saved the voicemail and forwarded it to Lawrence, adding a note. This is what we need. My mind raced. The cameras might show more by morning. Lawrence's documents would give me a legal shield. But my mom's text reminded me how far she would go. I wondered about my brother. He had stayed quiet. Did he know about the lease? Had he pushed my mom? The questions burned, but answers could wait. Right now, I need control. I set my phone down. My resolve hardened like steel. The house was mine. No forged paper, no family trick would take it away. I wasn't just protecting a house. I was drawing a line. And once I drew it, no one, not even my family, would cross it again. By morning, I opened the camera app on my phone from the hotel. The video was a little blurry at first, but I could see my living room in Omaha. My heart skipped a beat as the picture got clearer. There was my brother dragging a big, heavy suitcase across the floor. The wheels made a loud scraping noise that made me flinch. His wife stood nearby, pointing at the walls and telling everyone where to hang a shiny mirror. Her voice was sharp and bossy. She moved around like she already owned the place. I quickly switched to the master bedroom camera, and my stomach felt sick. Boxes with their names on them were stacked on my bed, like they had already claimed it as theirs. This wasn't just a visit, they were moving in, slowly taking over my home. I tapped the hallway camera, and there was my younger cousin Devin, standing quietly by the stairs. He looked nervous and unsure. His voice was soft, barely loud enough to hear through the tiny speaker on my phone. "Vanya will figure this out." "This isn't right," Devin whispered. My mother's voice cut through sharply. "Shut up. She'll have to deal with it." Her tone was cold and final, like she had already decided that I had no say in any of this. I froze the phone, trembling in my hands. Not because I was scared, but because I suddenly understood everything clearly. My family didn't just want a room. They wanted to use me like I was a tool. They thought I would just let them take over. I replayed the video, zooming in on my mother's face. She looked proud as she folded a stack of their clothes. My brother hauled another bag, completely oblivious to Devin's quiet worry. His wife adjusted a framed photo on my dresser, like she had every right to it. Every frame of the video showed what I had suspected all along. They had planned this long ago, counting on me to stay silent. My pulse pounded, but it didn't panic. It was determination. I decided that I would take back control. I wouldn't let them push me around. My phone buzzed, snapping me out of the video. It was a text from Elena. "Stay calm, Vanya. You've got this. Don't let them push you," it said. Her words made me feel stronger. I typed back, "Thanks. I'm on it." Then I put the phone down. My mind raced. The cameras had shown me the truth. But proof wasn't enough. I needed a way out, a plan that would end this for good. I remembered what Lawrence had said the night before. Selling the house could cut all ties with my family. At first, the idea seemed impossible. My house was my life, my memories. But now it felt like a lifeline. I opened my contacts and stopped at the name of my old friend Leora, a real estate agent. I hadn't talked to her in months, but she was smart, reliable, and careful. I called her, and she picked up on the third ring. "Vanya, is everything okay?" she asked. I didn't waste time talking about small things. "Leora, I need to know how fast I can sell my house. No questions, just tell me the process." There was a pause. Then she switched to business mode, asking about the house and the market in Omaha. I answered her questions quickly, keeping my details short but firm. "I want it done quietly. And I want it done fast," I said. Leora explained the steps. Listing the house, finding a buyer, and closing the sale. She warned me it could take weeks, but if I was motivated and set a fair price, we could push it faster. "I'll need to see the house," she said. I hesitated for a moment, thinking about the cameras, the boxes, and my family acting like they already owned the house. "Not yet," I said. "I'll handle access. Just start the paperwork." She agreed and promised to have everything ready by the next day. I hung up, feeling a strange mix of dread and determination. I leaned back, thinking about the camera footage. Devin's quiet words stayed in my mind. He wasn't like the others. Maybe he could help me. But I pushed the thought away. He hadn't stopped them yet, and that was enough. My mother's harsh voice echoed in my head. She had always favored my brother, excusing his mistakes and expecting me to clean up after him. This wasn't new, but this time felt final. They had crossed a line and I wouldn't bend. Elena's text reminded me to stay calm. But calm didn't mean being passive. I opened the camera app again and saved clips of everything. My brother dragging his suitcase, his wife arranging my belongings, my mother saying biting words. Each clip was another piece of evidence I could use if I needed to. But court wasn't my goal. I didn't want to fight them. I wanted freedom. Selling the house, as Leora had explained, was the only way to break free without a long, messy argument. I paced around the small hotel room, thinking. The housewarming was tomorrow, and they would expect me to show up, smile, and play along with their plans. But they didn't know I had seen everything. They didn't know I had already started taking action. Leora's help had given me a way out, and the cameras had given me proof. I wasn't just reacting anymore, I was planning. My family had underestimated me, and they were about to learn that I was not someone they could control. That afternoon, I went to Leora's office. She greeted me with a quick hug, looking worried but professional. "You sure about this, Vanya?" she asked, pointing to a chair. I nodded. "I need it sold fast, Leora." "Before tomorrow's housewarming?" she asked. "And it stays just between us?" I nodded again. She didn't hesitate. She pulled out a stack of forms and explained everything about selling a house quickly. She said the market in Omaha was okay, but to sell it in less than a day, we'd have to set the price very low. This would attract buyers with cash who could make a quick purchase. I didn't care about losing money. Freedom was more important. "Do it," I said, my voice firm. Leora handed me a form called a power of attorney. It let her handle the sale if I couldn't be there. I looked over the papers carefully. The weight of the decision settled on my shoulders. This wasn't just selling a house. It was standing up to my family and taking control of my life. I signed the papers slowly, deliberately, making sure every stroke was certain. Close it before the party, I said. No delays. Leora promised to list the house quietly and target buyers who could pay cash fast. You'll have an offer tonight, she said, her voice steady. I handed back the papers. My phone buzzed again. It was my mom calling. I ignored it. She called again and again. Her voicemail was sharp and cold. Vanya, you need to be at the house tomorrow. This is about family unity. Don't make this difficult. I deleted the message, my hands steady but my chest tight. Unity was just her way of saying control. I texted back. In a meeting. Can't make it. I wasn't playing her game anymore. Leora looked at me. Everything okay? She asked. I gave a tight smile. Just family, I said. She didn't push. Instead, she handed me a draft listing for the house. The price was lower than I wanted, but it was a way to gain freedom. I approved it and started thinking about the next steps. Keep me updated, I said, standing up. She squeezed my arm. You're doing the right thing, Vanya. I've got your back. I walked out with the signed papers, feeling a quiet victory. Back in my car, I checked the cameras again. The living room was empty, but the master bedroom showed my brother's wife taking photos with her phone. She snapped pictures of my bed and dresser, smiling like she had won. I checked her social media. Sure enough, she had posted the pictures with a caption about her new home vibes. My blood boiled, not because I was surprised, but because she was showing off my house like it was hers. I saved screenshots for more proof. The cameras had caught her, and now her own words showed she thought she had taken control. Elina's words from that morning came back, stay calm. But calm wasn't the problem. Focus was. My family thought they could push me around, but they had guessed wrong. The housewarming was only a few hours away, and they didn't know I had already started my plan. Leora's promise of a quick sale was my secret weapon. My phone buzzed again. Another call from my mother. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice was low and angry now. Vanya, you're being selfish. Get to the house tomorrow, or you'll regret it. I didn't reply. Her threats were empty. I leaned back, taking a deep breath. I was ready. Tomorrow wasn't just a party. It was the end of their control. I would walk into that house, face them, and show them what happens when they underestimate me. I closed the camera app, the images of my brother's wife still fresh in my mind. Leora's office and the signed papers were proof that I was now in control. Elina's support, the camera footage, and the sale gave me everything I needed. My family had gone too far, and now I was ready. The housewarming would be their stage, but I was writing the ending. On the morning of the housewarming, Leora called one last time. Her voice was brisk and professional. Vanya, it's done. The buyer signed at dawn. The house is officially theirs. Funds are transferred. You're free. A wave of relief and quiet happiness washed over me. My townhouse, my home, was gone, but so was the weight of my family's greed. You're a miracle worker, Leora, I said. My voice was calm but full of gratitude. She promised to send all the paperwork and wished me luck. I hung up the phone, my fingers still tight around it. The party was going to start in just a few hours, and I felt ready. I had thought about this moment for a long time. I had imagined walking into that house, listening to my mom talk about everything she had planned, and then finally telling the truth. My stomach was calm, but my mind was sharp like a knife, ready for whatever would happen. The plan I had made was simple. I would go in, let them feel proud and strong for a little while, and then I would drop the truth on them. They had pushed me too far, and now they would learn that there were consequences. I got into my car and started driving. The streets of Omaha passed by quickly, blurring into streaks of color. My stomach didn't feel nervous, even though what I was about to do was huge. I had made my decision, and there was no turning back. The plan was set, and I had to follow through. I parked a block away from the house and slipped my phone into my pocket. I had everything I could possibly need to prove my side. Camera footage from the house, screenshots of social media, and confirmation of the sale of the house. If they tried to twist the story later, I would be ready. But I didn't want to fight. I just wanted a way out, a way to finally be free from their control. When I reached the front door, I could hear laughter and music spilling out of the house. The party was in full swing. I took a deep breath and stepped inside. The living room was crowded with people, the air thick with chatter, and the sound of glasses clinking together. My mom stood in the center of the room, smiling proudly, as if she were a queen at a grand ball. She saw me and called out, "Vanya, you made it," loud enough for everyone to hear. She waved her arm around, showing off the rooms of the house like a tour guide. The master bedroom was now for my brothers. The guest room had been claimed by my brother's wife, and the study was taken over by my younger cousin. Her voice dripped with pride, as if she had planned all of this herself and had won a great victory. My brother leaned casually against the wall, grinning with his arm around his wife. She adjusted a new scarf and looked very proud, her smile confident and smug. My younger cousin stood quietly near the back of the room, his gaze fixed on the floor. He didn't look happy, but he also didn't speak. Around the room, other guests, distant relatives, neighbors, and a few of my mom's friends, nodded approvingly, some taking out their phones to record my mom's speech. I let my mom finish, my face a mask of calm. Then I stepped forward. My voice was steady, cutting through the noise like ice. "You're wrong," I said, looking my mom directly in the eyes. "This house isn't mine anymore. I sold it this morning." The room froze. My mom's radiant smile faltered, and her hand dropped to her side. My brother pushed off the wall, his face twisting in shock and confusion. "What the hell are you talking about?" he yelled, his voice cracking as he spoke. His wife's jaw dropped in surprise, and her scarf slipped as she stared at me. My younger cousin lifted his head, his eyes wide, but he still didn't say a word. Whispers rippled through the crowd. People started taking out their phones, still recording. I didn't flinch. I had been ready for this moment. "The sale closed at dawn," I continued, my voice steady and firm. "The new owner takes possession tomorrow. You are all guests in someone else's house now." My mom's face went pale. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She had built this whole plan thinking I would stay silent, thinking I would comply. But I had shattered her plan. My brother lunged forward, his face red with anger. "You can't do this. This is our house," he shouted, pointing his finger at me. I didn't back down. I met his glare steadily. This house had belonged to me once, but I had chosen to let it go. It was mine no longer, and I had made that choice. His wife grabbed his arm, her voice high and shrill. "This is a lie. We already moved in." I tilted my head, my smile cold. "Check your social media, Vanya. You posted pictures online claiming this house was yours. I have the screenshots and the cameras. You don't own anything here." The guests murmured, some scrolling through their phones. They found the posts my mom had made online, boasting as if she had control over everything. Her face turned red, but she had no words to defend herself. My younger cousin finally spoke, his voice quiet and small. "Vanya, I didn't want this," he said. I shook my head slowly. "You didn't stop it either," I said. The room buzzed with whispers, some still filming. My mom finally found her voice, but it was venomous. "You're no daughter of mine," she shouted. I shrugged. "Good. I'm done carrying your problems," I said, my voice calm. I turned and started walking toward the door. My brother shouted after me, his words full of threats, but I didn't look back. The guests moved aside, eyes following me. My mom's voice rose even higher, calling my name, but I kept walking. I had made my choice. The house was gone, and so was their control over me. I had taken back my life, and they would have to deal with the consequences. Outside, the air was crisp, and the sun was bright. I slid into my car. My lawyer friend, Lawrence, had come with me to make sure everything went smoothly. "You did what you had to do," he said, his voice calm but steady. I nodded, a small smile breaking across my face. "Thanks for having my back," I said. He waved it off. "I'll handle any legal fallout," he said. I started the engine. My family's chaos was their problem now, not mine. I drove through the city, passing streets I had known my whole life for the last time. My bags were already packed. My life had been condensed into what could fit in the trunk of my car. Omaha had been my home, but it had also been a cage. Selling the house wasn't just about leaving. It was about starting over, free from their demands. My mom's tears, my brother's anger, his wife's pride, all of it was behind me. My younger cousin's regret stayed in my mind, but it wasn't enough to pull me back. I had drawn a line, and nothing would make me step back. As I hit the highway, the skyline faded in my rearview mirror. Relief settled over me, light and unshakable. I didn't know exactly where I would go, but it would be my choice, not anyone else's. The gossip, the videos, the fallout, all of that would follow my family, not me. I had walked away not just from the house, but from a past that no longer defined me. 1 month later, I stood in my new apartment, looking out over the city. Sunlight poured through the window, lighting up the bare floor. I had kept things simple: a desk, a chair, and a few books stacked neatly. My laptop hummed open on the desk, showing a spreadsheet for my marketing company. I had worked long nights and early mornings, and now I had 2 new clients. Small businesses wanted my help, and I was ready to give it to them. The work was hard, but it was mine, free from the weight of family expectations. I sipped my coffee, enjoying the quiet. I hadn't spoken to my family since the house party. Their absence was a relief, a clean break from years of manipulation. I had heard through an old friend that my brother and his wife were struggling with rent. They had moved into a small apartment in Omaha, but the bills piled up faster than they could handle. Their arguments, once private, were now loud in public. Neighbors could hear them shouting about bills and blaming each other. She accused him of failing to secure the house. He threw her social media posts back at her, calling them reckless. Their marriage, built on greed, was cracking under the pressure. My younger cousin had left Omaha entirely. He packed a bag and moved to another state, cutting all contact with my mom. I wasn't surprised. His guilt at the party had been real. But so was his resentment. He had warned her, pleaded with her to stop, but she had pushed forward, convinced she could control me. Now he was gone, starting over far from her influence. My mom's world had fallen apart. The neighbors who had once admired her now turned away. Videos from the housewarming party had been shared all over social media. She had been shown as a schemer, a woman who tried to steal her daughter's home. Omaha's gossip mill was cruel, and her reputation crumbled. People whispered about her in grocery stores and avoided her at community events. She had lost the trust she had worked so hard to gain, and no amount of charm could bring it back. I felt no pity for her. She had chosen her path, and I had chosen mine. I turned from the window and thought about the house. Selling it had been a loss, but it was necessary. That townhouse, bought with years of hard work, had become a chain tying me to their demands. Letting it go freed me. My company was small, but it was growing. Every new contract was a step toward stability. I had learned to protect my achievements and set boundaries that no one could cross. The cost had been high, but the reward was worth it. Sometimes I thought about my younger cousin's words at the party, the warning he had given my mom. He had seen the truth, but he had not acted until it was too late. I couldn't make that mistake. I had spent years giving my family the benefit of the doubt, hoping they would respect my choices. They hadn't. Their greed had blinded them, and I had paid the price for their entitlement. Now I know better. Family wasn't a free pass to exploit trust. Family requires respect. Without it, there was nothing left to save. I opened an email from a client and started typing, my fingers moving quickly over the keys. Work grounded me and gave me purpose. I had left Omaha with little more than my savings and a few boxes, but it was enough. This city, wherever I was, offered a fresh start. I didn't need a big apartment or flashy things, just a place to rebuild and grow. The sunlight shifted, warming the room. I smiled. Freedom wasn't just the absence of chains. It was the courage to walk away, to lose what held you back. I thought about the lessons I would carry forward. Protect what you've earned, draw lines where they're needed, and never let anyone, even family, take what's yours without a fight. My mom's tears, my brother's rage, his wife's arrogance, they were echoes of a past I had outgrown. I had dared to let go, and in doing so, I had found something stronger, myself.